Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Right now, it's showing that we have unstable internet connection and we should move closer to the router, which is right next to me. What? Are you kidding me? Connection, now it's saying connection's fairly good, but you need to move closer. I'm still right next to it. People are going to be coming on and be like, why is this guy yelling at his computer? Okay, now the message has gone away. So hopefully everything is good with Robin Hood and Little John and Wendy. I don't know what that means. But how's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's doing well. We are still waiting for some people to pop on. When I say some people, I mean anyone. Right now it's still showing 0, and and there goes the Wi-Fi again. Stop with this. Connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging in your router or moving closer to it. It's right next to me. It's right there. How's everyone? Are you guys doing good? Hopefully people are doing well out there. We are going to be continuing. Well, not continuing. We're going to be just, we're going to be talking about Disney tonight for our 774th week in a row. So if you guys want to join us, join us. If you want to say hello in the chat room, say hello in the chat room. Because as always, you're driving home from Disney. No! I got home from Disney about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours ago now. About an hour and a half ago, I want to say. Was at Magic Kingdom today. Magic Kingdom was insane today. It was insane yesterday. The lines were the line for Jungle Cruise today went to Aladdin's Magic Carpets, which is insane to me. And then everything was a long wait. Actually, People Mover, I waited for about 30 minutes, and then I figured I'm just going to stay on it because what was that? Did you hear that? Those are the people. Okay. Hopefully they're not subscribed and watching. I just got new neighbors kitty corner from me, literally a week ago. And they're very loud. They're very, very loud. And every time they're in the hallway, I'll say hi. And they always go, as if they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. And now they're just yelling in the hallway. Could you hear them? Hopefully someone could hear them, and I don't look like a crazy person. Hey, Christine, how you doing? But yeah, there's been a few times where I've seen them in the hallway, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, and then they walk away and don't say hi. Not at all. Nothing at all. It's so weird. You heard. Okay, good. Jamie, how are you doing? Okay, so tonight what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through and having it. So you guys are choosing our topic of discussion. So it's showing that we have quite a few people who are watching. It's also showing that the Wi-Fi connection is going in and out. So hopefully it goes well for us here because we would like to have a participation episode here. And we have a few options for you guys. But you guys are going to be going through and voting on what the topic is. You wrote Tiana's 3 times. Nice. That's what I'm at right now, too. I'm at 3 times. I am hoping tomorrow I can get on for my 4th time. I do have a Magic Kingdom reservation for tomorrow, but at the same time, I don't want to wake up at 7 o'clock to get into the virtual queue. So I'm kind of hoping and just maybe the 1 o'clock one will work for me, but at the same time, I understand if it doesn't. But I think that'd be the best. But yesterday I had Magic Kingdom reservations, and the 1 o'clock one never even went live. So I kind of feel like maybe I should wake up at 7 just to get it. And I talked to some of the people who work at Tiana's today, and they did say that as long as I have a screenshot saying that I have the boarding reservation for tomorrow, then they will let me in to the queue. So we'll see. But anyways, how's everyone doing? Let's get this party started. We are going to start the 774th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 774th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is June 19th, 2024. Video and audio is not synced. Is it it could be my thing because my Wi-Fi thing keeps on popping up saying that I need to move closer to the router, which I'm literally sitting right next to. So it could be my end. It could be StreamYard. It could be Facebook. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Is it okay on YouTube? For the people who are watching on YouTube, is the audio and the video synced? Hopefully. We will see. Hola. Okay, so tonight what we're going to be doing, today is June 19th, 2024. I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're going to be going through and having it so you guys choose the topic of what we are going to do tonight. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. So first off, they did announce that we are going to be losing another thing for a Disney Vacation Club lounge. And this one I'm actually very bummed about. Now, I did go to Test Track the other day to ride it one last time. And when I was leaving Test Track, if you follow me on my Instagram, then you may have seen my Instagram story where I was like, I'm not really that sad about Test Track 2.0 going because I loved the original Test Track and the second version of Test Track. I just never really, I still went on it. I still would enjoy it, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as the original one. So when I rode it for my last time, I was like, I'm kind of fine with it. And I wasn't really sad. However, they did announce that we are going to be losing the Frontierland Shooting Arcade. This coming up Sunday will be the last day for the Frontierland Shooting Arcade. And this one actually has me kind of bummed out because one, it's an opening day attraction. Two, there's so much detail there. I've written a book about it. There's so much detail in there. And I hate when the originals disappear, especially for something like a Vacation Club lounge. But at the same time, I get it because there really has not the last few months that I've gone over there, I'm the only person there, and now it's been packed since they made the announcement. So I'm curious. I'm sad, but I'm curious as to what this lounge is going to be like. I am not a DVC member, however, I do have a few friends that are DVC members that will be able to get me in. So I don't know. I'm kind of bummed about it. But anyways, also thank you everyone who's been checking out our videos over on YouTube. If you didn't already know, every single day we do a full-length video, and then we also do a short video as well. The last few days we have been kind of in a slump for YouTube. I had a few videos that were going crazy for about 2 months there, and now all of a sudden they slow down. So we are going at a slower pace, unfortunately. However, we are still going strong, and I do appreciate everyone out there who has been checking out our videos on a daily basis. But as always, if we continue getting more subscribers as the evening goes through here, we will go into extra innings as we go through here as well. Right now, our starting thing is at 7,389 subscribers. So even if we get up to 7,390, we will go into some extra innings as well. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by the amazing, the wonderful, the super duper Patreon pals. Patreon pals. They are my best friends. See, Frenzy. So thank you, my Patreon pals, for being the sponsors of tonight's episode. They make the world go round. And of course, as always, if you are a Patreon pal and you are watching right now, throw an "oh yeah" into the chat room so everyone can be like, yo, Patreon pals, thanks for tonight's show. So what will be left of opening day attractions? Let's answer this question. But before we answer this question, let's give you guys 3 options for what we're going to have tonight's show will be about, and then I'll answer this question while you guys vote. So tonight we're going to do either an Ask the Expert, where you guys can send questions about anything and everything about Disney, including things like this. So what will be left of the opening day attractions? In addition to that, we can have it so, and I actually have other questions coming up too. So maybe Ask the Expert might be the way to go tonight. In addition to that, we will have it so we could do a connect the dots, where you guys throw a bunch of different random Disney things at me, and I have to connect the dots from one thing to another 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 thing until we wrap all the way back up to where we first started the episode. Or number 3, we've talked about retired attractions, so we might as well have it. We're losing 2 attractions in a week. So we might as well do an episode about a retired attraction. You guys will choose the attraction if that's the one that we decide on. So your 3 options, again, are Ask the Expert, where you send questions like this one right here to me about anything and everything Disney. Number 2, a Connect the Dots episode where we play a game of Connect the Dots. Or number 3, a retired attraction thing. I will start answering this question right here. As soon as we finish answering this question, we will wrap up the vote. So whoever votes in the time that this question is being answered, that will be how long you guys have to vote. Okay, so what will be left of opening day attractions? Let's go through them real quick here. Well, not too quickly, but we'll go through quick enough while you guys vote on those other 3 options. Right now, no votes are coming in, so it kind of makes me nervous. And I'm kind of thinking maybe we will do Ask the Expert if no votes do come in. We'll see. So the opening day attractions are Jungle Cruise, which has been around since opening, obviously, because you asked opening day questions. Jungle Cruise, we also have the Swiss Family Treehouse. Enchanted Tiki Room is kind of like a weird one to kind of say yes it is, but other ways you can kind of say no it's not, because it originally started off as not the Tiki Room. It actually started off as Tropical Serenade and then became Enchanted Tiki Room under new management, and now it is Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Over in Frontierland, we have the Walt Disney World Railroad. We still have for another week here, the Frontierland Shooting Arcade. We also have the Country Bear Jamboree, but again, much like the Enchanted Tiki Room, it is going through some massive changes right now. Also, by the way, we are about halfway through the Magic Kingdom going through this thing. So we have a lot of people who are watching between Facebook and YouTube. Right now it's saying that we have 17 people watching, and right now we only have 2 votes. So keep voting. It's either Ask the Expert, Connect the Dots, or a retired attraction. You guys are choosing the episode tonight, so throw your votes in while we continue this. We also have Hall of Presidents, the Liberty Bell Riverboat, but at the same time, Liberty Bell Riverboat open up 2 days later, so it's not opening day. Haunted Mansion, Hall of Presidents, and then up in Fantasyland, Peter Pan's Flight was a second day of operation attraction, so that does not count. We did have It's a Small World. We had the Carousel. We also had Dumbo the Flying Elephant, the Mad Tea Party, and then, of course, the Speedway as well. So we have all those, and that's it. I mean, there's still a lot, but that's about it. Okay, so that is the end of that question. Let's go to our votes here. We have one for Ask the Expert, Ask the Brent. Connect the Dots. We have another Ask the Expert and Retired Attraction. So we will do an Ask the Expert segment tonight where you guys can throw questions in too about like retired attractions and stuff as well. So how this is going to work, in case you've never joined us before, just send questions about anything and everything Disney into the comments below, much like Christine just did, and we would go through and answer that question. Then we were going to go to the next question and keep on going through until either it is 10:30, or if we have more subscribers, 10:35 or 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. So just keep on sending the questions. But of course, if we're not getting more questions, then we will be ending early. So please, if you have any questions about anything or everything Disney, this can be things like what are left of the opening attractions, or things like this. Did you see Inside Out 2 yet? What are your thoughts? Or things like, what is your favorite snack to get at Magic Kingdom? Or what is, I don't know, anything and everything. So start throwing those questions in there, and we will start going through your questions. Okay, we've got a few questions that have already popped up, so let's get to it. If you have a question out there, so throw your questions into the comments. Like I said, every question makes the show go a little bit longer. Did you see Inside Out 2 yet? What are your thoughts? Yes, I did. I actually got to go to a preview of Inside Out 2 with D23. Bottled Up Emotions. I absolutely love this movie. I thought it was a great movie. It is one of those movies that I am extremely excited to watch again. I am very, very tempted to go back and see it in the theaters again, because I did think it was just that good of a movie that I would love to see it back on the big screen once again. There are 2 characters in it. Every time I think about them, I can't help but start laughing. So, Pouchy, if you've seen it, Pouchy is the star of the film, in my personal opinion. I'm not going to go into too much detail about Pouchy in case someone has not seen it, but Pouchy is hands down the funny. There we go. Alex is actually Pouchy. Pouchy is one of the funniest things ever. I think it is worth me reading a text message from my brother because my brother, sister-in-law, and my niece and nephew went to go see the movie the like Monday. I want to say it was Monday, which actually helps me because that will help me figure out exactly where this text it was Monday. Haha. Um so I had texted back and forth with my brother and sister-in-law about the movie, and they're like, "Hey, did you see Inside Out 2? We want to bring the kids. We're trying to figure out like if you think they would like it or not." And I was like, I think they would love it. And and I said they have the funniest character way. Where Inside Out 2 has my new favorite Pixar character. I couldn't stop laughing when they appeared on screen. I didn't even tell him who the character was. And he gets out of the movie on Monday and says, "Pouchy? Really?" He didn't even ask, was it Pouchy? And he just like straight up knew that this could be my favorite character of all time when it comes to Disney. But yeah, so Inside Out 2, I liked it a lot more than I liked the original one. When I first got out of the movie, I was like, I think I like it more. Now, like after a lot of thinking about this movie, 100%. I liked Inside Out 2 a whole lot more than I liked the original Inside Out. I always liked the original Inside Out. It was not one of my top 5 favorite Pixar films. Again, if you guys are trying to figure out questions to throw at me, things like that are good ones too. What are your top 5 favorite Pixar films? But Inside Out was Inside Out was never one of my top 5 favorite Pixar films, but Inside Out 2 has potential to maybe make it to that list. I don't know if it is or not, but it's such a funny movie. Pouchy is it's hands down my favorite Pixar character of all time now. I cannot stop laughing when Pouchy was on the screen. There's a lot of other people who are like, oh, there's other very sentimental moments of the film, which there are, but holy cow, Pouchy. Pouchy. The fact that my brother didn't even have to ask me if that was the character I was talking about, and said he just wrote it and said, "Pouchy, really?" The next, I'm just gonna be sitting here laughing about Pouchy for the next 45 minutes. Okay, keep throwing those questions in the comments. We are gonna get to our next question here. Why did Walt Disney World get rid of the original Skyway and Magic Kingdom? Ooh, this is a tough, hard-hitting question. Okay, so let's do a little bit of history about the Skyway, and then we will go through and answer the question. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Skyway, because the Skyway was an opening day attraction. If you didn't know, there was the Skyway to Tomorrowland and there was the Skyway to Fantasyland. It was the exact same attraction, but it went one way or another way. It would cost a B ticket. I want to say it was a B ticket. Don't quote me on that. I think it was a B ticket to be able to get on it and travel from one part of the park to the other part of the park, but you could not do a full loop. It wasn't like you could do a re-ride like you can do on the People Mover. Instead, it was just a, okay, get off over here. So currently, if you have gone over to Tomorrowland anytime in recent years, if you've gone over there, you've seen the stage. The stage was going to be the location where the original Skyway to Fantasyland station was. And then if you've ever gone over towards the Tangled restrooms, that was where it was from Fantasyland to Tomorrowland. Now, if you actually still go through Magic Kingdom to this day, you can actually find a few different spots where you can find where the poles were for the Skyway. For instance, the best one I actually be able to see is near the exit of Peter Pan and the exit of It's a Small World. You'll see this cluster of like rocks on the ground, and then there's a drain system at the bottom. That actually used to be where one of the poles was for the Skyway to Fantasyland. Now, the main reason why it got closed, there's been a rumor for years and years and years, and unfortunately, the rumor is true. And the only reason I know for a fact that this rumor is true is because when I did my college program, I worked custodial. And when I did custodial, I worked with a lot of other custodians. And one of the custodians actually was there the day that the incident happened. So essentially what happened was one of the custodians went up early in the morning to clean one of the Skyway buckets. And while he was cleaning the Skyway bucket, he fell and unfortunately did pass away. Now, a lot of things like the guy who I talked to, he said, well, he goes, it really was the guy's fault. Like they always told us when it's in motion, do not stand up and clean. And this guy unfortunately did stand up and clean. But at the same time, because of that, because there was a death involved, they decided that the best thing that they could do is just completely close down the attraction. So the attraction would close down in Walt Disney World and at Disneyland because of this incident. So yes, that is the reason why. That was probably a more of a downer answer than I think a lot of people out there would like to. Keep throwing your questions out there, and we will answer as many questions as we go through here. Eric says, Inside Out 2 was way better. We also have, don't you think it's because you had to get used to the thought process and how it was created in the first one, so there was a lot more freedom to enjoy the second film? I think partially, but at the same time, I feel like the storytelling was better in this one. Like, I do understand where you're coming from, like, if it wasn't for the first setup, but I feel like they could have had this be the first film and you still would have, I don't know. I don't know. I really liked just the concept that they had for this film, where I think the storytelling was really well. I think the new characters were great. And I think every new character that they introduced in this film was just great characters that helped build the story. So I think it could be partially because the first one, but at the same time, I just think this one was extremely well done. I usually don't like sequels more than the originals, but in this situation, I really, really, really enjoyed the sequel more so than the original. Now I really want to watch the original Inside Out to figure out if I like it, because I haven't watched it since. Okay, let's go to the next question here. To keep on throwing your questions into the comments. We only have a few questions that are left in the chat room, so keep throwing them down, and we will keep on answering them here. What is your favorite Epcot festival and why? Okay, so just in case people did not know, there are currently 4 different festivals at Epcot throughout the year. It starts off with Festival of the Arts in January/February, and then we go into the Flower and Garden Festival, which varies each year on when it starts and when it ends. And then we have the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, and then finally the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays. My favorite one, hands down, is Festival of the Arts. I absolutely love Festival of the Arts so much. I even have the Magic Band for the Festival of the Arts back in 2001, I think. Yeah, 2001, right there. Festival of the Arts is, without a doubt, it's my favorite festival that Disney does. I think it's a combination of, one, I do like art. If you've ever been in my condo, you know that there's artwork literally everywhere. There's behind me just alone, like there's just a lot of stuff on the walls. And if you look throughout my entire condo, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, just on that little side over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I have a lot of art. Not all of it is like high grade art, but I do have a lot of the art. I like looking at pretty things. And so, and not just that, but I've always liked the component of the Festival of the Arts is not just about art like painting, but it's photography, it's music, it's a little bit of everything. And the fact that they have it so it doesn't just focus on a single piece of art, because I think if it was just painting, I'd be like, okay, it's kind of cool, but at the same time. But the fact that they also have the Broadway concert series, which I think is one of the best concert series that they do, and not I know it is the best concert series that they do. I love that. I love walking around. I love being able to actually sit there and talk to the artist. I love doing the chalk art. I like being able to paint a wall. I like how interactive it is compared to the other festivals where the interactivity is pretty much you just, drinking the drinks or eating the food, and that's the only real interactivity that you have. I am a very hands-on type of person where I just like to be part of the thing that's happening opposed to looking at the thing that's happening. And I think the idea of being able to partake in a lot of the different activities just makes it so much better. But if I had to go through my order of favorite things or favorite festivals, I would say that it is Festival of the Arts, followed closely by the Flower and Garden Festival, followed closely by the Festival of Holidays, followed by Food and Wine. I know a lot of people would say that Food and Wine is their favorite. My I'm not a food person. I'm not a wine person. I am the wrong crowd. Like I am the furthest thing away from being the target audience for food and wine. The only thing that food and wine has for me is the Wine and Dine half marathon at the end of the festival, which I absolutely love. But besides that, I am not even close to the target audience that they're going for. Okay, keep on throwing your questions in. We will go through and answer as many questions as we pop in through here. Broadway Concert Series is the best special event offering Disney-wide. Agreed. I 100% agree with that. Okay, let's go to our next question here. Who are your 5 favorite Pixar characters? Pouchy, Bluefy. Oh, Pouchy. Oh my gosh. Pouchy and Bluefy are hands down my top 2. I'm not even joking. Like, this is 100% serious. 100%. Those 2 are my 2 favorite. Number 3 is probably Doug from Up. Hi there. My name is Doug. I just met you and I love you. Doug is easily number 3. Doug was always my favorite Pixar character until I discovered Inside Out 2. And those 2 characters. Oh my gosh. Number 4. Ooh, okay. This is where it starts getting a little bit more difficult. I want to say Dory. I don't want to say. I'm going to say Dory. Dory from Finding Nemo and Finding Dory is number 4. So right now we got Pouchy, Bluefy. He's stuck into the wall. He's like, "Hey, friend." How are you doing? Oh, this is how you get me off the rails. If you ever want to distract me, you just bring up those 2 characters. It's so funny. Oh, we may have to end the show early tonight because I just want to go back to the movies and watch those 2 characters. Pouchy, Bluefy, Doug, Dory, and there seems to be a common theme amongst the different characters. And then it's I was even gonna say like the hey, Mr. Wazowski. The teenagers from Monsters Inc. I think are absolutely hilarious. I'm watching Monsters at Work right now, the Pixar or the Monsters Inc. show. I watched the full first season. I'm currently watching the second season. I'm doing 1 episode a week. It came out about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and I think I'm on like episode 7 or 8. So that makes sense. And then, but I'm not going to say those 2 guys. I am going to say, I'm like looking around my room right now, trying to figure out exactly which character it would be. We've got Merritt over there. We got Syndrome, Mr. Incredible, Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. Randall. I think I'm going to say, I kind of want to say Woody. Oh, Mater. I'm going to say Mater. Okay, so Bluefy, number 1, Pouchy. Number 2, Bluefy. Number 3, Doug. My name is Doug. Number 4, Dory. And number 5, Mater from the Cars films. I think those are my top 5 favorite Pixar films or Pixar characters. I think and if you have not been able to tell, if you give me a stupid character, I'm gonna love them, and that's how it is. I do remember watching Toy Story, the original Toy Story, back in 1995. I remember we went to see it in not in theater, but my brother we saw it in theater first, and then we saw the second one we saw the first one again too. I'm getting confused. But my brother was in charge of like the entertainment thing at his college, and we went up there for the family week, and they would show a movie, and the movie they showed was Toy Story. And I had seen the movie already once at that point, but I remember everyone loving Buzz Lightyear, and I remember being so disappointed in everyone because I felt like it was like Andy, where Andy was choosing Buzz Lightyear over Woody. And I always felt so bad for Woody. Like I still feel bad for Woody because I think Woody is a funnier character than Buzz Lightyear. I feel like Buzz Lightyear is a very serious character compared to Woody. And it just always broke my heart that, you know, that that Woody just kind of, got thrown aside like that. Okay, keep on throwing your questions into the comments. We're answering as many questions as possible up until 10:30 or longer, and depending on if you guys get us more subscribers. Right now, our subscriber count after half an hour is still at 7,389. So keep on throwing those people over there. If you're not subscribed, you might as well subscribe too, because all you're doing is getting us more questions. Okay, that's Buzz Lightyear does have one good line. I am Mrs. Nisbet when he goes through the crisis. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's go to the next question here. What do you want to see the Walt Disney Company do in the next 5 to 10 years? Movie ideas, park ideas, etc. I would love a fifth park at Walt Disney World. I would love a fifth park at Walt Disney World. I would love the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which has been confirmed that's going to happen. I can't wait to see that happen. I want to see more lands, and I want to see more elaborate attractions and more elaborate details, but I also really want to see some simple attractions as well, because we talked about this before. We talked a lot about this about 6 or 7 years ago, right before Toy Story Land opened up. I was going through this big rant right here in this very condo about how one of my biggest gripes with Disney's Hollywood Studios is the fact that there's not enough family-friendly attractions. And I know what you're thinking. No, there's a lot. There are a lot. But when you look at Magic Kingdom, you've got great attractions like Dumbo, the Barnstormer, Little Mermaid, Mad Tea Party, the Carousel. And it's these little simple attractions that take people away from the bigger attractions. So what happens is then we get more people spread out throughout the park. And because we get more people spread out throughout the park, then we have it so we can get on more attractions with less wait times. And the reason I'm bringing up Toy Story Land with this is because this was before Aliens, Rolling Saucers came into our lives. And when that came into our lives, it did have it so we started to go through and have a little bit more like that. So I'm hoping that we start to get more park things that are like that, more simplistic attractions to kind of take other groups of people away. And not every attraction that opens up, and I know this is going to be a tough thing for some people to swallow, but I preached this for years. Not every attraction has to be an e-ticket attraction. Not every time that we open up a new attraction at the parks should it be an e-ticket attraction. There's times it should be a D ticket or a C ticket or a B ticket or A ticket even, because it just helps enhance and tell the story. Now, I think a great example of this is over at Cars Land in Disney California Adventure, because when that opened up, a lot of people, and I don't know if people remember this, but back in 2012, there's a lot of people who were like, oh, really? We're going to get this whole land and we're only going to get 3 attractions. Only one of them is going to be an e-ticket attraction. And then you went there and it's like, holy cow, this is the perfect idea of what we should have. Like, we should have it so there is one big e-ticket attraction in the land, but also have it so the supporting cast are these other attractions that, yeah, they might not be the e-ticket attractions, but they're still great attractions. And I feel like Cars Land is probably one of the best examples of this in recent years, of something that's new, but also has it so we have a diverse group of amazing things around the ground. So anyways, so yes, I would love to have more lands, more parks. If we had a new park, I think a Pixar themed park would be a great idea for a park. If somehow Disney was able to get the rights for Marvel in the parks over on the East Coast again, it would be great to have an entire park that was themed around Marvel. They would have so much that they could possibly do with it instead of just an Adventures campus, but going through and building so much more. I think they could do so much and it could be so well done. But yeah, I think any new park would be amazing. And it is funny because when you talk to different people about new parks or new ideas like that, they always focus on things like a Marvel park or a Star Wars park or different things like that. But I'm like, if you go back to any Disney park, essentially, really? Yes. Let's go with yes. If you go to any Disney park, one of the most amazing things about Disney parks is it is not an IP park, as in an individual or intellectual property. that Disney owns that is making the entire theme of that park. When you look at Magic Kingdom is based around lands, and not any of those lands is based around a specific film. You've got Adventureland, you've got Liberty Square, Frontierland, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland. All of these things are based on different ideas. Yes, they are going to have different attractions that are based on the characters. However, not the entire land is based on a single thing. Of course, this has changed throughout the years with Hollywood Studios getting Toy Story Land. Over at Hollywood Studios, we also got Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We have had different lands that are added that are based around a specific movie. Pandora over at Disneyland Animal Kingdom. But at the same time, you don't necessarily need to have that thing. One of the great things is when you look at great parks, look at Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is an amazing, amazing, amazing park. And none of it, when the park first opened up, was really based around a single character or a single film that Disney had ever done, with the exception of It's Tough to Be a Bug, which would be opening up later on that year. Actually, It's Tough to Be a Bug open up before It's Tough to Be a Bug open up before A Bug's Life open up in theaters. So when you go through and you have it, so there are these different things. By the way, this is a great question because you've got me rambling for like the last 10 minutes. But when you go through and you have it, so you look back at the history of Disney parks, so many people now focus on the attractions that are based off of movies. And it's like, oh, what are we going to get here? I want more original ideas. I want to have it so over the next 5 to 10 years, we get more attractions that are based off of original ideas. Pirates of the Caribbean was an original idea. Haunted Mansion was an original idea. Country Bear Jamboree was an original idea. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, original idea. Space Mountain, original idea. Astro Orbiter, all these different things were based off of original ideas that the Imagineers came up with and placed them into parks. Yes, things like the Country Bear Jamboree, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean would all eventually get their own films because of those attractions, but the Imagineers were the ones who had the idea from the start. So I would like to have it so we go back to those kind of roots over the next 5 to 10 years. When you have things like Tokyo Disney Sea, it's based off of all original ideas. When you can go into that kind of mode, I think that's going to be what could be most exciting for us to see in the next 5 to 10 years. And yeah. And then when it comes to movie ideas, just some more original movies as well. And I also love the movies that are based on true life stories. If you've not seen The Young Woman of the Sea yet, go see The Young Woman of the Sea. It stars Daisy Ridley and tells the story about the first woman to ever swim the English Channel. It's out in limited theaters. It is a Disney live action film. It just came out like a month, not even a month ago, like 3 weeks ago. But I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I know it's not going to be in theaters for a long time, but I do highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is hands down, without a doubt, my favorite movie that I've seen this year. Both of them. Between that and Inside Out 2, The Young Woman of the Sea is without a doubt my favorite one so far. So go check it out if you've not checked it out. As always, if you guys are joining us right now, we do have a lot of people who are popping up right now. You guys are just throwing any Disney questions out there, and we will answer them. So keep throwing your questions in the comments, and I will keep on answering them up until either we get more subscribers and go into extra innings, or until 10:30. So keep throwing the questions out there. Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon? This is one of those questions that every time someone asks me, I always give my 100% honest answer, and every single time people are completely blown away. I cannot sit down and relax. It's very tough for me to sit down and do nothing for a long period of time. And because of that, it's Blizzard Beach. Blizzard Beach every single day. Yes, I understand that Typhoon Lagoon has the better lazy river. Yes, I understand that Typhoon Lagoon has the better relaxation spots. Yes, I understand that there's so many things about Typhoon Lagoon that are amazing. But if you're someone like me who has to be on the go, Blizzard Beach all the way. Blizzard Beach has so many more water slides that are thrilling, so many more attractions that are thrilling. There are so many more things to do inside that park. Plus, as you all know, I love a good story, and I do love the story in both of them. But I've always loved the idea of bringing a Blizzard Wonderland into the parks, into Central Florida. I just think is an absolutely hilarious idea, and I think that the Imagineers knocked it out of the park. So for many, many reasons, Blizzard Beach is my favorite one, and I will always choose Blizzard Beach, no matter how many times people ask me. Because I just think it's just it's so well done. It's so well done. And Sun and Plummet is such a fun attraction. I know a lot of people never do it because they're terrified of it. The very first time I ever went on it was back in 2010. And I had just moved here, and I had the annual pass that had the water park option. Actually, I had the annual pass that was good for both Disneyland and Disney World, and it included the water park. And I went to Blizzard Beach with one of my friends, and we were going on Summit Plummet. So I had gone to Blizzard Beach one other time before that, and when I went to Blizzard Beach the first time around, it was in 2003. I think it was 2003, so a year before. And I wanted to go on Blizzard Beach, but I was scared, or on Summit Plummet, but I was scared to go on Summit Plummet. And I said, okay, I'm going to do all the other water slides, and then I'll do Summit Plummet. I'm going to work my way up to Summit Plummet. And I had worked my way up, and then all of a sudden there was a lightning storm, thank God, and they closed the park. So I didn't have to do Summit Plummet that time. But then when I moved down here, I finally was like, okay, I'm going to do Summit Plummet. And it was 2010. I was going up the water slide, or up to the top of the water slide, and I was with my friend, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, because I was like distracting myself. I was like, oh, you can see Cinderella Castle, you can see Tree of Life, you can see Tower of Terror, you can see Spaceship Earth. And I was like focusing on all that stuff, and my friend could tell that I was nervous. They had done it before. And then the guy who was near us could also tell that I was nervous. So he started saying, yeah, only a few people have died on this thing. And I was like, haha, sir, I have written a book about Disney. I know you were a liar. So I did it. And after I did it, I was like, that is so much fun. And now every time I go to Blizzard Beach, that is like my one attraction that I have. Well, that and the water slides where you go down and like you're racing, the toboggan racers. That's so much fun too. I love the whole park. But yeah, Blizzard Beach. That was, I just gave a very long answer to a very short question. I know it would be impossible, but I want to see a Bluey Land so badly. It would be that would be amazing. If they did a Bluey Land, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't know if they could ever do it, but I think it would be amazing. All right, keep on throwing your questions in the comments. We only have one question that's still out there, so keep throwing them out there so we can keep on going into more extraneans here. If Oswald came back for a ride or show, what ride system or show type? Ooh. Would be the theme for it from his card? Oh, that's a great question. I like this question a lot. And it's a rabbit who's asking me the question, which makes it even better. If Oswald came back, I think if they could use the trackless ride system, but okay. I've not ridden Pooh's Honey Hunt over in Tokyo, but I like the idea of I guess it would be kind of like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, where you have a nice, slow moving, going through exciting attraction, but where you actually get to go through on these different storylines. I think that would be a lot of fun. And if we had an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit attraction, kind of like Winnie the Pooh at Magic Kingdom. Kind of like Winnie the Pooh. And the only reason I'm thinking Winnie the Pooh is because if you could have it so like you're hopping with Tigger, but have it so you're hopping with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, I think an attraction like that would be a lot of fun. And it would be really cool if somehow, I don't know how they could do it, but if somehow they started off in a black and white world, like you're back in the 1920s, and because there was no color in real life either at that time, apparently. But if they started off in like an old cartoony world, and then something happened, like a Roger Rabbit style thing happened, and it resulted in us going into a more colorful, more vibrant world, I think that would be a very fun attraction for people to go on. So I'm thinking that, yes, a slow moving ride on a trackless system where you can go up and down, but also kind of going through I think it would be cool to have it so you're with Oswald going through the cartoons or something like that. I don't know, but that's my idea. Okay, keep throwing your questions down there. We do have another question that just popped up. And also, we just got another subscriber as well, 7,390 subscribers. So you guys you earned yourself at least one extra question as soon as it hits 10:30. Again, if we get more subscribers as we go through here, you will earn more questions. So keep on throwing that subscribe button down, because more subscribers means more questions and more Wednesday show fun. All right, let's get to our next question here. Fantasia Gardens are one of the water parks. I just read the next question. I'm gonna do the next question real quick just because it made me laugh. Did you finish the original X-Men the animated series yet? So we can talk about X-Men '97. No, I am on the 4-part season finale of season 4, and then there's 10 episodes in season 5, and then I'm going to be in X-Men '97. So no, do not. I'm almost caught up. I have literally 24 episodes to watch until I'm done with X-Men '97. I've got 14 from the original series and then 10 from X-Men '97, but I'm almost there. I am almost there. Oh, hey, Fantasia Gardens are one of the water parks. What do you choose? I would choose. Oh, this is actually a wow. Okay. I mean, usually I would choose mini golf, but I know you've never done the water park. So in your case, I would choose one of the water parks because for me, so I am a huge mini golf fan. If you didn't know, I really do enjoy mini golf a lot. When my brother lived down here, he lived down here in 2014. Him and I had a tradition that every Tuesday we would go to a different mini golf course, whether it was on Disney property or someplace else in the area. And we try to do every mini golf course. And I think we succeeded in the course of the year that he lived down here. I've always liked mini golf. I really like mini golf. And I think all 4, because you've only done one, I think all 4 mini golf courses that are at Walt Disney World are so like detailed and so well done that I just love doing the mini golf. Like I personally love going to do the mini golf courses. But with that being said, I do really like both water parks. And I do think if you've never done the water parks, you need to check out the water parks at some point because both storylines at both water parks are really well done. They are very detailed. I think if this is completely side note, but I think if they would have had it so we did not lose the Shark Tank over at Typhoon Lagoon, I do think those Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach would be a closer race for me because I always liked doing the snorkeling in the Shark Tank. But when they got rid of that, I was like, I still enjoy it, but not as much. But yeah, I think since you've never done either, I would suggest that you go to do one of the water parks. But that's my kind of idea. But I'm sure other people would probably say mini golf. Personally, if I had to choose for myself on any day, I would choose mini golf. I go mini golfing way too often. But for someone who's never done it before, I would choose a water park. Okay, keep throwing those questions in there. It doesn't look like we have any other questions out there right now. So while you guys go through and answer, I will sing. No. Keep throwing those questions down there. You guys have earned at least a little bit of extra innings. So if you guys have any questions out there, start throwing them down there. I would think a trackless ride that is themed to Trolley's Troubles. And what do you say, Totally Mayhem in Oswald's World? Yes, that's what I was thinking. Trolley Troubles would be a really cool one. If there was a way to have it so it was like the cartoon too, where you like raise up the trolley, like raises up on one side and on the other side, I think it would be a lot of fun. Even if they did that old attraction that's no longer there in Toontown over in Disneyland, they used to have that trolley that goes around. If they had that even, that would be a really cool thing. I was always bummed because I never had the opportunity to ride it. And there was one time, and one time only, that I actually saw it moving back in like 1994. I guess it was 1993. It was December 31st, 1993. And we didn't do it. But I remember seeing it move, or maybe it was just a dream. But I remember seeing it move, and I always wanted to do it, and I never had the opportunity to do it. And I've always cried myself to sleep ever since then because of that. Okay, does anyone else out there have any questions? Otherwise, we might wrap this up a little early, but I know a few of you guys out there are like, no, I've got questions. So keep on throwing your questions out there, and we will answer as many questions as possible while you go through. There we go. That Mickey Beignet is behind Tiana's mom in the celebration scene. Okay, I will try to look for that tomorrow. I am hoping to do it tomorrow. Like I said, I've got Magic Kingdom reservation for tomorrow, and tomorrow is the last day of annual pass holder previews too. So tomorrow is most likely going to be my last opportunity to ride the attraction until next Friday, when the attraction officially opens up. And I do have a reservation for Magic Kingdom next Friday because of the attraction opening up, and I want to do it again. But I will try to look for that. At the same time, I don't know if I'll see it because that final scene is so elaborate that I'm just like, the whole time I'm in complete awe of everything that's in the area. But I will, if I ride it tomorrow, I will definitely be keeping my eye out for it. Best Walt Disney World Hotel. Ooh, for me personally, okay, let's do my top three. My top three favorite hotels are Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge. I can't think of what my third would be. I like a lot of resorts, so let's just stick with those two. We'll just stick with the top two. Wilderness Lodge is easily my favorite one, and I think it's just the feel of the resort. Every time I'm there, I feel like I'm up at Telemark Lodge, except for like a much nicer Telemark Lodge that it's up in Hayward, Wisconsin, and I think it has now been closed down because it wasn't taken care of. But it reminds me of Wisconsin, and in addition to that, there's just it has a cozy feeling to it, and I just love Wilderness Lodge. And there's so many hidden Mickeys there. There's so many details there. I love the fireplace. I love how if you go to the levels of the fireplace, so on the first floor you'll see these like the rock formation of the fireplace, and then you'll see like as it goes up, the rock formation changes colors and stuff. And then if you go next to the fireplace itself on each level, you can find different rocks and different fossils. And the rocks and fossils that are there are what would actually be found in that layer of the earth. So if you actually were to dig a hole, what you see there is what the layers of the earth would actually look like. And I think that is one of the coolest little details that they have. But I would say that is my favorite. My second favorite is Animal Kingdom Lodge. Again, it has a very similar feel to Wilderness Lodge. It's just more spread out, which is one of the reasons why I put it down a little bit. But it also has all the animals, which is why it stays at number 2. So both of them are very, very unique hotels. I also, if I have to go through and choose my favorite mid-range hotel, my favorite value resort, I would say a Caribbean Beach, probably because of the Skyliner. And then I know most people would say for value resort is either Pop Century or Art of Animation. I do love both of them. However, All Star Movies has a Herbie themed area, and that's just the coolest thing in the world. So All Star Movies is my favorite of the value resorts. If Soundstational Parade came back, and if you add one non-Disney property in any representation, what would it be? For me, Miraculous. Wait. So I can add a non-Disney property. Like, so, wait. I'm not sure. This is a good question. Let me think about this one while we go through the next few here. If Toontown had a mini expansion, what would it look like? I would love to see a mini expansion of Toontown. Even if it was just another short attraction, if it was something like Gadget's Go-Go Coaster, I think anytime that you could, like I said earlier, if we had any little attractions added in, it would be great. If we just had a little bit more of a glimpse into the characters' lives, that'd be great. I think that the addition of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over there is a great addition, and I was shocked that there is that much room still behind there to actually add in such a massive attraction. And I think Toontown is a great land overall. I think it has a great variety of big attractions like that. They've got great mid attractions like Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin and Gadget's Go-Go Coaster. And then you've got all the great walk-through attractions like Mickey's House, Minnie's House, Donald's Boat, Goofy's Playhouse. All those things I think are just amazing things. I think Toontown might be one of the most perfect lands that Disney's ever done. and I'm legit, like, I think it's just such a well put together land. What is the deal with the Walt Disney World never getting a nighttime parade? They need one desperately. I 100% agree with you. I miss having Spectro Magic. So if you've watched my daily YouTube videos, I had one up about a month ago. Let me actually find exactly when it is, and then I will actually post it into the comments here on YouTube because I think it's worth a listen. But over on my YouTube channel, I had one not that long ago, which was the Spectro Magic song being played on the Casey's Corner ragtime piano, and it was 3 weeks ago. And this video, if you've not had the opportunity to listen to it yet, is definitely worth a listen. There we go. I just posted it in the chat room. Aha! Right there. I don't know if it's actually going to pop up or not for you guys to watch, but I think that is probably one of the best parades that Disney's ever done. And I don't know if the reason I like that one more than Main Street Electrical Parade is because Spectro Magic I watched every night during my college program. That was the parade that was going on at that point. And being able to experience it every night and getting to know some of the people involved in it, it feels like when I watch that parade, it feels more, I feel closer to it than I felt for the Main Street Electrical Parade. I like the Main Street Electrical Parade, and I also like the Mickey Soundsational Parade. There's so many great parades out there, but I think Spectrum Magic was probably my favorite nighttime parade. When is the next crazy challenge? This is a good question. Okay, so here are a few crazy challenges that I have lined up. Number one is I need time. I need time to film some of these things because some of them are crazy ideas that I have. Two, some of them I do need to gain more finance for, and in order to do that, I also have to, pay off past finance because these things cost money, and I make money on YouTube and Instagram, but I don't make that much money on YouTube and Instagram to be able to pull this off. But with that being said, I have a few simple ones in the works. I have bringing back one of the ones that I failed in the past. I want to try again. I'm just trying to figure out when a good time for my friend Alex and I to go off and do it is. But we have been talking about a take two for the four mini golf course crazy challenge. So if you missed that one, I did that one like 5 or 6 years ago, and in that one I had to go on, or I had to get the lowest score of the day at every single one of the 4 mini golf courses in a single day. And I was able to get the lowest score of the day on 3 of them, but I missed the 4th one. So we want to go back and we want to try that one again. And then the main reason I want to have it so someone's with me is because it's easier to film. I attempted to film me trying to get the lowest score on just a single one of all time one time, and it was so difficult for me to have it. So I was setting up all the shots for myself and everything else like that. Then after like 4 holes, I was like, I give up. I'm just going to play a game of mini golf now. I would also like to do a second chance of the 7 Summits Crazy Challenge, but I would need Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon to be open at the same time. And right now, those are not open at the same time. They have not been open at the same time for quite some time. But if you have ever seen some of my old crazy challenges, I did the 7 Summits, which was I had to go on the highest point of Typhoon Lagoon, Mount Mayday. I had to go on Summit Plummet over at Blizzard Beach. I had to go on Splash Mountain, which would now be Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Expedition Everest, Space Mountain, and then I needed a 7th one, so I just named I went over to the one mini golf course. This keeps on going back to mini golf. I need to play mini golf maybe tomorrow. But I went over to the mini golf course over in whatchamacallit, Fantasia Gardens, because one of them is inside the mountain, Mount Olympus. So I was like, oh, I'll start there. And actually, it took a lot because I had to convince the workers to let me just play the one hole. And they're like, yeah, just take a club and ball and go over there if that's what you want to do. And then also my car keys, the little beep beep, to lock and unlock the door, that broke in that challenge because when I went on Summit Plummet, my keys were in my pocket and I forgot that my keys were in my pocket. And I was running to the car after going down Summit Plummet because I literally went down Summit Plummet and then ran back. And because my keys were in there for so long, like only like 5 minutes, but they were in there for long enough that there was water damage to the keys. So it ruined everything. But anyways, so I'm planning on attempting those two again. And then the other one that I really want to try again, it comes down to this number right here. So Frank and I are going to be attempting our coast to coast crazy challenge again, but as soon as this number hits 10,000. So right now we're 2,610 subscribers away. Based on what we were doing last week, there was a chance that we would be filming this crazy challenge in like 4 weeks, or at least like planning everything in 4 weeks. But the last week has been very slow for subscribers. So we hit 7,000. Well, it's still going well because we hit 7,000 subscribers 9 days ago. But literally right before those 9 days, it took us 12 days to go from 6,000 to 7,000. So we are slowing down on subscribers compared to what we were. But again, if we get to 10,000, we are going to be planning on that one. There are a few other crazy challenges that I want to try sometime in the near future. I'm just trying to figure out when and where and how and all that other stuff. There is a short one, like literally like it might be like a minute long crazy challenge that I want to attempt in the very near future. I just need one camera person to able to pull it off. And this is the problem too, is for a lot of these crazy challenges, I need like a backup person to be there to help film some of the stuff. And sometimes it's like, I just need someone who's crazy enough to join me on these crazy challenges. So yeah, anyways, the answer is soon. Hopefully we'll have a crazy challenge up sometime in the very near future. I just need more time. I need more resources. I need more. Yeah, just give me subscribers and we'll get more. The subscribers, by the way, actually, it really legit does help because the money that I've been making on YouTube this month and last month compared to previous months is like double at least what I've done in the past. So it does help a lot. Okay, let's do a few more questions here. You guys did earn some extra innings because we were at 7,390. We will go to at least 1035 before we wrap up the show. But if we get to 7,391 subscribers, we'll take a few more questions. Would you bring back Timekeeper? What would you change a little? I loved Timekeeper. I love Timekeeper. If you guys do not know what Timekeeper is, Timekeeper was the attraction that used to be found where Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor currently sits. It was one of those 360-degree films, kind of like the Canada film and the China film over at Epcot. And you had Rhea Perlman playing the voice of Nine Eye, aka the robot that was giving you the view of everything. And then you had Robin Williams playing the role of Timekeeper. And with the two of them and yourselves, you would be traveling all around different moments in history. And overall, it was a great attraction. I would love to bring it back. It doesn't even need to change. I wouldn't need anything to change besides the fact that maybe I would just need to have it so more people go see it. Because overall, I thought it was a very funny attraction. I thought it was a very heartwarming attraction. And I thought it was a great attraction. I was very sad when that one disappeared. And I wish more people would have experienced it. Because I think if more people experienced it, it would have stuck around a lot longer. But unfortunately, not a lot of people experienced it. And that's why we lost it. All right, this could possibly be the last question unless we get another subscriber here. Gideon's or Lake House cookie. I have been hearing about these Lake House cookies like crazy. I have not had one yet. So I've been inside of Lake House or Summer House, Lake House, I don't know. So this is going to be a spot that's over at Disney Springs. That's where Bongos used to be. Yeah, Bongos. It's where Bongos used to be, and it looks like a very nice restaurant. I walked in one time because one of my friends wanted a coffee. I stopped to use the bathroom, and they said, we will meet you inside of this place. And this was literally last week too. So I went inside, I saw the cookies, but my friend had already purchased their coffee and they had just gotten it. And so I did not have the opportunity to buy a cookie because we were off to go see Inside Out 2, and we didn't have much time to get into the theater. So because of that, I did not actually have a chance to experience it. But I'm hoping it's good. But right now, of course, I'll have to say Gideon's because Gideon's is the only one that I've had so far. Look at this right here. Popping in to say hi. We just landed in Burbank. Frank Fam's going to Disneyland. Okay, I need everyone in the chat room right now to throw one attraction that they have to do at Disneyland. And if they do not do these attractions that you listen to the comments, they are not allowed to go back to Disneyland ever again in their future. I will start off by saying Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. No, I'll say Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. The Railroad. That's a good question. That's a good one. Railroad's a good one. There are so many great attractions at Disneyland. The Matterhorn, the Railroad, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Radiator Springs Racers. There are so many amazing ones out there. Cars then have ice cream cones at Cars for Me. Indiana Jones, there you go. Everyone always says Indiana Jones. I like Indiana Jones, but I don't think it's as good as everyone said. It's not in my top of my list. I remember the first time I went to Disneyland as an adult, I went with one of my roommates from my college program, and that's all he thought about the whole time. He's like, oh, we have to go on Indiana Jones. Like, he grew up going to Disneyland. He's like, we have to go on Indiana Jones. It's the greatest ride in the world. And I did it, and I was like, oh, it's fun. He's like, it's fun? It's not the greatest thing that you've ever done? But I get out. No. I still like Indiana Jones. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think everyone always puts in like their top 5 at Disneyland. It's not in my top 5. It's probably in the top half, but there's been times where I've gone to Disneyland and I've not gotten on Indiana Jones and I've not been heartbroken. But I do enjoy it. It's just not one of my top 5 Disneyland attractions. Yes. Go on the, yes, do not buy Lightning Lane for Runaway Railway. This is the way to do that attraction out there. Definitely go through the queue. The queue is amazing. It is hands down one of the greatest queues that Disney's ever done. Okay, any other recommendations out there for Disneyland? Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up this show right here because we've already gone a few minutes past our bonus time, and we are still sitting at our 7,390 subscribers right now. Any other questions or not any questions? Any other wrap-ups there? Because there's a few questions in the chat, but okay, I think we're going to be wrapping up this bad boy right here, though. So thank you, everyone, for joining us once again. As always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon Pals. Patreon Pals. Thank you to our Patreon Pals for being the sponsors of tonight's episode. As always, if you're one of our Patreon Pals in the chat room, give us an oh yeah. What should the Frank fam eat at Disneyland? Plaza Chicken, Plaza Chicken, Plaza Chicken, Plaza Chicken. That's my favorite, Plaza Chicken. Thank you, everyone, for joining us once again this week. I hope all of you guys enjoyed our Disney talk tonight. As always, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We will see you guys next week. But until then, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I can't stand this kind of pressure.